After 3 hours with the demo for Octopath Traveler 0, one thing really stood out to me. This game gives you a home to fight for and rebuild instead of 8 separate journeys. Let's take a walk through how that home base ties into the game's vibe, combat, and progression, and why it already feels more focused than previous entries. As soon as the game begins, you're greeted with something different for the franchise. Instead of just picking a pre-written protagonist, you get to make your own character. You can tweak their appearance and some of their backstory, things like their favorite food, inherited combat skills, and a few special belongings that carry mechanical bonuses in-game. While not overly complex, this feels fresh for the genre, letting you roleplay a bit and immerse yourself into your character and the world of Orstera, giving your protagonist a sense of identity that directly ties to their hometown. On top of that, you'll choose an initial job for the main character, determining weapon types, stats, and early skills. This isn't locking you in forever, but more so setting the tone in how you wish to approach the game's opening hours. Square Enix's signature HD 2D pixel art style does a great job here as usual, with a mix of detailed character sprites, atmospheric environmental effects with shimmering textures and dramatic lighting, and flashy spell animations. As you explore, you can zoom the camera in and out to change your perspective, or to just take in the lush canopy-lit forests and frost-powdered snowscapes. These visuals don't outshine Octopath Traveler 2 in terms of spectacle, but they're more than serviceable and feel consistently satisfying to look at. And the music is exactly what you'd expect. A lush orchestral soundtrack that shifts from cozy small-town vibes to punchy battle tracks. If you played any previous titles, you'll notice some motifs and stylistic callbacks that make the soundtrack feel at home within the Octopath universe. Story-wise, the demo keeps things pretty focused. Starting in your small village of Wishvale during a local festival, everything feels warm and safe, typical of your classic jrpg starting town. Unfortunately, this is short-lived as a trio of tyrants assault the village, burning it all to ash. These 3 villains each represent a different aspect of corruption through wealth, power, and fame. And from that point on, your journey is framed around revenge and rebuilding what you once lost, giving the narrative a clear spine in its opening hours. If you've played previous Octopath games, the core combat system will feel at home in the best way possible. Enemies have weapon and elemental weaknesses that are discovered through trial and error, and each hit to those weaknesses chip away at their shield points. Once their shield points hit 0, you break your foe, dropping their defenses and rendering them unable to act for a turn. It's super satisfying to set up a good break window to cash out on some big bursty damage. This all pairs nicely with the BP or boost points system. You gain 1 BP per turn and can spend up to 3 at once to boost the number of your basic attacks, increase potency of spells, or to increase turn length of buffs. In a way, this has always reminded me of the Brave in Default system from Team Asano's classic Bravely Default series. The flow of battle feels as great as ever in Octopath 0, with an option to bump battle speed up to 2 times, which I appreciate. I love grinding, but I love it even more when I can streamline it. And based on trailer footage, we can see that the game hints at larger party dynamics than what we're used to, building towards an 8-person party with front and back row mechanics that spice up the fun. From what I've seen, it looks like while your front row is active, your back row will passively accrue BP each turn. Outside of Octopath's addicting combat, progression is shared between character skill mastery and rebuilding your beloved hometown. On the character side, you're learning battle skills in a flexible order, and as you unlock more of them, you also gain access to support skills that can be slotted for passive boosts. It's always nice to watch each party member grow, and really feel that growth each time you're unlocking a new skill. And each party member also has a set of social skills to use when interacting with NPCs. Here, the social actions allow you to fight NPCs for items, learn more about their story, learn of hidden treasure locations nearby, and more. These skills feel a bit more streamlined in comparison with the day and night cycle path actions from Octopath 2. However, this will be a plus for you if you're looking for something more approachable and simpler in terms of social mechanics. Now, what I've really found interesting with 0 and what makes it stand out is the town rebuilding mechanics. After the village of Wishvale is destroyed, you come back to rubble. You actually get to clear debris, gather materials like lumber and cloth, and slowly rebuild what once was. As you restore these facilities, they start to offer shops and services or passive effects to your benefit. This unique spin on progression provides a new way to be rewarded instead of just seeing stats go up on a screen. It feels great to have your experience anchored by the effort of rebuilding something that we all cherish in games like these, the cozy, comforting JRPG town. You're also recruiting new friends as you go, some joining your party for battle, and others joining your rebuilding efforts to staff facilities and provide bonuses. All of this feels like an optimized and fresh spin on vibes from older titles like Suikoden or even Dark Cloud. Layered atop its intriguing town-building system, there are 3 main routes tied to wealth, power, and fame, each represented by one of the main antagonists. You get to select which route to tackle first, which adds a sense of flexibility to the game, similar to past titles. From there, you can hop between these routes and town rebuilding quests, offering a nice balance of narrative, combat, and cozy progression, while remaining more focused than previous entries. Overall, the demo left me feeling genuinely excited, not just because the combat is still a ton of fun with the promise of even more action with 8-member parties, but because the structure feels a bit more focused compared to Octopath 1 and 2. In the first 2 titles, I actually loved the 8 separate stories, but I totally get why some bounced off that fragmented feeling. Here, everything starts from one village, one disaster, and your 3 main villains. Your party and progression are all tied back to this home that you're trying to restore. I'm definitely curious to see how deep the town building really gets, and whether the streamlined social actions will feel too simple in the long term. I also ran into a small interaction bug in the demo in which my character kept trying to converse with an NPC hundreds of feet away. But besides that, the experience overall felt polished. While the demo was limited to 3 hours, your progress carries over to the full game. So if you're looking for a unique progression through town building or a good old revenge story, this one is going to be worth picking up. Octopath Traveler 0 feels like an evolution of the formula and not just a smart spin-off. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care of yourselves and your party members.